Have you ever felt such a deep connection with someone that it felt otherworldly? Like your soul recognized them before your mind could even understand? If you live with this feeling that there's something more between you, this video is for you. Maybe you've never told anyone about it. Maybe you even doubt yourself sometimes. But deep down, something in you knows. There's an invisible bond, a force pulling you toward this person, even when everything seems impossible. And that might be one of the rarest signs your twin flame is real. If these words are already touching something inside you, subscribe to the channel right now and hit the bell. I'm here to guide you through this journey with honesty, compassion, and clarity, because I know how intense and lonely this path can be. And you don't have to go through it alone. Step by step, I'll show you deep signs that hardly anyone talks about, but every soul who's lived this feels. And I'd love for you to share in the comments if any of these have ever happened to you. Tell me, honestly. Because only those who live this truly understand how deeply it moves us. Maybe you're wondering, what if it's all in my head? That's actually the first silent sign. You question your own sanity for feeling too much. That inner doubt, that fear of making it all up, is so common among mirrored souls. Because the feeling is so huge, it seems impossible to explain. Another rare sign is that, even with time, the connection doesn't fade. On the contrary, it silently grows. You might not have talked to this person in months, maybe even years, but the feeling stays alive, like it's still beating inside you. And this isn't attachment. It's soul recognizing soul. Tell me this, have you ever tried to move on, turn the page, start fresh, and something always pulls you back? If so, comment yes below. I want to know how many of us have lived this in silence. Because this kind of love doesn't disappear, it transforms. And speaking of transformation, another rare sign is how much you change after meeting your twin flame. Deeply. It's like your soul is pulled into a cleansing, into an awakening. And as painful as it is, you know you can't go back to who you were before. You start seeing yourself differently. Things that didn't bother you before now feel suffocating. You start searching for meaning in everything. It's like this connection launched you into a spiritual journey with no way back. That's a calling, and it's no accident you're here right now. If this is resonating with you so far, go ahead and like this video now. It helps more women like you find this content, and that's how we build a safe space for those who are living this deep, silent love. Another subtle sign is when you read each other from a distance. You feel when he's sad, anxious, or thinking about you, even with no messages, no calls. It's like there's an invisible thread between you, vibrating with the same emotion. And sometimes, that level of connection can feel almost scary. You dream about him, feel his presence, or suddenly hear his name in random places, and your heart races. That's not craziness. Those are synchronicities. And when they happen often, it's the universe saying, pay attention. Have you ever experienced something like that? Tell me in the comments. Sometimes we think it's just coincidence, but when it keeps repeating, it becomes impossible to ignore. Every sign is a piece of a puzzle that the mind can't solve, but the soul understands perfectly. And you know that feeling that, despite everything, there's a mission between you two? Something that has to happen? That's another rare sign. Twin flames have deep purposes, personal, spiritual, and even collective. It's not just about romance. It's about expansion. Even when there's separation, fights, distance, you feel that something needs to be healed, that this connection has a greater role in your life. And yes, that can be painful. But it's in that space that your soul grows. And once you understand this, everything starts making sense. If you've made it this far, leave a dizzy in the comments. That way I'll know you're on this journey with me, feeling it all too. And trust me, you're not alone. There are thousands of women going through this silent awakening right now. Here's one of the deepest signs, he mirrors you. Everything you love or hide in yourself, he reflects back. The triggers, the fears, the shadows. Not to hurt you, but because his presence forces you to truly look within. It's scary, but it's also freeing. Sometimes, you feel like you love him and hate him at the same time. Because he pushes you out of your comfort zone. He makes your soul scream for healing. And as paradoxical as it sounds, that's one of the clearest signs that this connection is real. The truth is, meeting your twin flame isn't like a romantic movie. It's a soul shock. It's a storm that breaks you down and builds you back up. And even when it hurts, this isn't just a hope in your heart. It's something real. If any of these words spoke directly to you, like this video. And if you want to share your story, I'll read it with love. Every story shared here helps heal another soul who's also feeling this, but doesn't know how to name it. And there are still more rare signs that hardly anyone talks about, signs that show up in subtle ways, but are impossible to ignore once your soul starts remembering. In fact, one of them might be showing up right now, as you listen to me. And that's what I want to talk to you about next, because when this sign shows up, everything starts to shift. That's the moment when the soul begins to remember everything it once forgot. And it's exactly in that moment that your soul begins to wake up to a truth it can no longer ignore. It's not just love. It's a recognition that changes everything: your thoughts, your emotions, your energy. You start sensing a deeper purpose, one you didn't even know was there. One of the rarest signs is how your entire body reacts to their presence, or even their memory. A simple thought of them can give you chills, make your heart race, or fill you with warmth. It's like your soul is speaking through your physical senses. Sometimes it happens when you're alone, in silence. You feel a wave of energy, almost like they're right beside you. You check your phone, look around, wonder if they've reached out, but it's just the connection reminding you it's still alive. Still burning. Another powerful sign? You see them in other people's eyes, hear their voice in a crowd, or sense their name echoing around you. The universe keeps showing you pieces of them, not to confuse you, but to wake you up. To guide you back to your truth. And even when you try to distract yourself, with work, friends, new relationships, they come back in dreams. Vivid, emotional, sometimes intense dreams that stay with you for days. Your soul is trying to process something deeper than your conscious mind can grasp. Have you experienced this? Dreams so real, they feel like visits? So full of emotion, you wake up crying or smiling without knowing why? You're not alone. Let's talk, share your experience in the comments. I truly want to hear your story. Another rare sign is how much your intuition sharpens. After meeting your twin flame, you begin trusting your gut more than ever before. It's like something activates inside you, a knowing that doesn't need logic or proof. And with that knowing comes clarity. You start recognizing what's real and what's illusion. Even if others don't understand, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, something inside you whispers, this is not ordinary. Sometimes you feel them before they reach out. You think about them and suddenly a message comes. Or you feel emotional out of nowhere, only to discover they were going through something heavy at that exact moment. That's energetic connection, raw and real. You can even feel their growth. When they're healing, you feel lighter. When they're stuck, you might feel drained or restless without knowing why. It's the energetic mirror at work, reflecting not just love, but the inner work you're both called to do. And the most beautiful, yet painful, part? This connection will test you. Deeply. It will challenge your beliefs, break your patterns, push every button you didn't know you had. But that's how the soul evolves. Through fire, through truth. Have you ever felt like this connection forced you to face parts of yourself you were trying to avoid? If yes, tell me in the comments. Let's be honest together. This journey is not easy, but it's sacred. And the more we share, the more we heal. Another sign most people don't talk about is the invisible support. When you're going through your darkest moments, somehow you feel a strength that isn't yours alone. It's like your twin flame is silently holding space for you, even from afar. That kind of support can't be explained. It's soul to soul. You feel it in your quiet moments, in your tears, in the way you get up again even when you don't know how. It's love, pure, unconditional, and beyond this physical plane. Sometimes the connection goes quiet. Completely. No signs, no dreams, no pull, just silence. And that silence can feel like abandonment. But often, it's a phase of deep inner work. Your soul, and theirs, needs space to grow before coming into alignment again. This phase is called the void, and it's one of the hardest stages. But if you're going through this right now, please know, it's not the end. It's preparation. Something sacred is being refined inside you. If this speaks to you, let me know in the comments. And maybe the rarest sign of all, you find meaning in the pain. Somehow, despite the confusion, you're grateful for the transformation. You realize this journey is not about getting them, but about becoming you. Your truest, most powerful self. That's when things start to shift, when you choose your healing, your path, your peace, no matter what the outcome is with them. That's when the soul steps into its light, and that's when the real miracles begin. If this is stirring something in your heart, share what's moving inside you. Your voice matters. Your experience can bring comfort to another soul right now. Let's walk this journey together. Because what happens next on the twin flame path is something most people never expect. It's not about fairy tale endings. It's something far more real and far more powerful. And in the next part of this journey, I want to tell you about the moment everything shifts, the point where the energy starts pulling in a new direction, and something sacred awakens inside both of you. That moment when the energy starts to shift, it often begins in silence. But not the painful kind, it's a calm silence. One that feels sacred, like something within you is preparing for what comes next. It's the eye of the storm before the soul awakens again. You may feel a sudden pull to change something in your life, your job, your habits, even your surroundings. This is your soul realigning, creating space for your next evolution. And whether or not your twin flame is physically present, the connection keeps working behind the scenes. That's when you start realizing, this journey isn't about chasing someone. It's about remembering who you are. About calling your power back, piece by piece, and knowing that love doesn't mean losing yourself, it means returning to yourself. Sometimes, signs start showing up again, repeating numbers, synchronicities, emotional waves that come out of nowhere. But now, you respond differently. From a place of inner strength, not confusion. That's one of the most beautiful shifts you'll ever feel. Have you felt this turning point? Where your pain started turning into clarity? If you've experienced that, share in the comments. I'd love to hear your moment of awakening. It's incredible how much we can learn from each other's stories. Another rare but powerful sign, you begin to forgive. Not because they apologized, but because your soul no longer wants to carry the weight. And with that forgiveness comes freedom. You feel lighter, whole, peaceful, even if the connection is still uncertain. You also start noticing how your self-love grows. It's quiet at first, like choosing rest over anxiety, setting boundaries, speaking kindly to yourself. But day by day, you realize, the connection that woke you, is now helping you love yourself more deeply than ever before. And that love? It starts radiating outward. You attract new people, new opportunities, new joy. Not to replace your twin flame, but to reflect who you've become. That's the real gift of this path. It transforms you in ways you never imagined. If this is resonating with you, tell me what's shifting in your life right now. Let's keep this conversation flowing, your voice is powerful and needed. One more rare sign I want to share, you begin to feel a deep sense of mission. Like your life has a greater meaning now. Your purpose becomes clearer. You're not here just to survive, you're here to expand, to shine, to love deeply and freely. You might feel called to create, to heal, to speak, or guide others. That's not random. That's the ripple effect of a twin flame awakening. And if you're feeling that pull right now, follow it. That's your soul saying, it's time. And don't be surprised if people around you don't understand. This path isn't for everyone to see, but it's for you to live. Fully. Trust your experience. Trust your knowing. Trust that what you feel is real, even if the world tells you otherwise. Let's talk about it. Have you ever felt that invisible calling pulling you forward? Write "I feel it" in the comments if that's true for you. Let's light this space together. As your heart opens more, you might even begin to send them love, not from need, but from peace. A quiet prayer. A silent thank you. Even without reunion, the bond remains sacred. And that love becomes a healing force, both for you and for them. And then one day, without warning, something clicks. You no longer need answers. You just know. You're no longer waiting, you're living. You're not chasing signs, you are the sign. That's when your light becomes magnetic, unstoppable, divine. That's why this community is so important. When you subscribe and activate notifications, you're not just staying connected, you're saying yes to your spiritual growth. You're opening yourself to messages that could shift your path in beautiful ways. So, if you haven't yet, subscribe now and tap the bell icon. That small action supports your journey and keeps you close to the guidance your soul is calling in. Don't let another message pass you by, the next one could be exactly what your heart needs. We're building something beautiful here, a community of women awakening through love, pain, truth, and light. Every like, every comment, every share helps this message reach another soul who needs it. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be the light that helps her find her way. I want to thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for being here. For listening, feeling, and opening yourself to this journey. I know how personal and intense it is, and the fact that you're here means something. It means you're ready. If this message reached you, write this phrase in the comments so I know it landed. This connection is changing me. Let's keep this circle of light growing, together, soul by soul. Your presence here is what allows me to continue creating this kind of content that speaks to your heart, not just your ears. And I need you to know, you are essential. Your energy is felt. Your voice is welcome. Because what's coming next is something that could shift everything you thought you knew about this connection. There's one more sign, often misunderstood, that almost no one talks about, but when it shows up, you'll know you're getting closer to something sacred. I want to take a moment to sincerely thank you for being here, for sharing your time, your energy, and your heart with me. This connection we're building is real, and it means more than words can say. You're not just watching, you're part of something greater, and that's beautiful. If you've received this message, please type twin flame of love in the comments below. It helps me know that this message reached your soul, and that you're here with me on this journey. Remember, by subscribing to our channel and tapping the notification bell, you're not just clicking buttons, you're strengthening your spiritual path. You won't miss any messages that could inspire, heal, or transform your life in ways you haven't imagined yet. This is more than a channel, it's a growing community of women awakening together. Every comment, like, and share sends out a ripple of light to someone else who might need this message right now. Your participation is powerful, it helps us spread this energy of love and truth far and wide. Your presence here is invaluable. Without you, none of this would be possible. You are the reason I keep creating content that speaks directly to your heart, because your experience matters, and your voice is essential. And as we keep walking this path together, there's so much more to uncover, so many truths waiting to be revealed. Stay close, because the next part of this journey will open doors you never knew existed.